ABC. Conklin and Company with 13 ABC Action News anchor Lee Conklin. First with what's happening behind the headlines. And Take 3, our panel of political analysts.
Morning, everybody. Welcome into another edition of Conklin and Company. Coming up today on the program, Toledo's mayor goes to Chicago to talk clean and safe water. And can the GOP take a clean sweep in November of all the down ticket state races? Well, there are some competitive battles. We'll talk about that and more in Take 3 this morning. Goodwill enlisting some youngsters to help its cause with a competitive challenge. Partnering with 13 ABC, we'll talk with the good folks at Goodwill of Northwest Ohio. But first, after all the talk, the debate, and more talk and more debate, Toledo has its dog park. Finally, the grand opening taking place as we tape here on Friday afternoon, airing on Sunday morning. The grand opening yesterday at the site off of the trail and Woodsdale. And here to talk about that, the chairman of the board of Toledo Unleashed is Steve Surchuk. Steve, we are so excited that you're here, and I can tell you kind of got this gleam in your eye that all the work and the toil and the sweat has paid off for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. 5 years. The Glass City Dog Park is now one of Toledo's crown jewels to add to our crown. We have 62,000 licensed dog owners just in Lucas County, another 19,000 in Wood County. No place for the dogs to be off leash. Finally, the Glass City Dog Park will allow dog owners and their dogs to be off leash in a legal, safe, healthy environment.
Yeah, and this is not the first dog park in the United States of America. I mean, there are some pretty elaborate dog parks across the country.
There are over 1,000 right now.
I mean, truly. So maybe it's past due, right?
It is very much past due. It's something that our communities need for a long time. It's really a quality of life issue, and that's why I got involved. I have no dogs. I'm a cat guy, but the community needs this. It's a place for dogs to socialize. It's a place for people to meet and socialize. It's really important to existing residents and recruiting residents. I firmly believe that. I'm in the economic development business, as you know, but having a dog park is a quality of life issue that people demand all over the country. Finally, we have one, the Glass City Dog Park.
And really a nice setting off the trail, the old Woodsdale Y site, the South Toledo Y site there, almost 4.5 acres,
It is. It's 4.5 acres. The park is divided into 3 separate dog zones, one for dogs 25 pounds and under, and 2 for larger dogs over 25 pounds. And what we decided to do here is to rotate the large dog areas. So in 2014 and 2015, we'll use the large dog park closest to the trail. Then the following year, we'll use the other one so the grass can grow and develop.
I asked one of the Blade reporters this past week, what makes this different from like a baseball field where you would take your dog, or a big open field, a big open space? And she expressed, well, it's fenced in, but there are many other things that make this a special place for dogs. Maybe you can highlight those for us.
Well, the whole perimeter has a 6-foot high fence, so the dogs aren't going to go anyplace. Secondly, in each of the 3 dog parks, we have a 4-foot wide gravel walking path. So if you want to come exercise along with your dog and you go into the large dog area, 1 lap equals 1/4 of a mile. So if you walk around 4 times, you've done a mile, and your dog has done a mile while it's still running around. The other 2 dog parks are about 1/5 of a mile each lap. But it's really a secure, safe place for the dog to run. Lots of people will take the dogs today to a park, let it off leash.
Sure.
Technically illegal. People do it. Here, it's comfortable. You also know that the dogs in the dog park, number 1, are licensed. Number 2.
Yeah, there are requirements here.
There are requirements, yes. And I need to reaffirm.
Talk about that, yes.
The requirements are very important because this is a members park, and although we don't discriminate, and anybody who has a dog that meets these requirements could be a member. First requirement is the dog has to be licensed. So we want to encourage legal behavior. You have to license your dog. That's number 1 requirement. Number 2, it has to be spayed or neutered. It has to be fixed. We don't want to increase the homeless dog population. Also, dogs that have been neutered or fixed are less aggressive.
Yeah.
And then number 3, it's got to be up to date on its rabies and other vaccination. Why? We want healthy dogs. If you take your dog to any park, you don't know if the other dogs there are up to date on their vaccinations. You don't know if they're aggressive or not. The dog park is a safe, secure, healthy environment.
What I've noticed in kind of researching the park and the website that you have, Toledo Unleashed, is that this wasn't, you didn't go at this flying by the seat of your pants here. I mean, there are a lot of things that have been thought about. You have sponsors for certain aspects of the park. Right. You have hundreds of members of Toledo Unleashed.
We've done a lot of due diligence.
Yeah. I mean, so this didn't come in 3 weeks' time here, Steve.
No, and we looked at best practices, and I believe the Toledo Glass City Dog Park will be in the top 1% of dog parks in the United States in terms of amenities and how it's operated. We have 12 pet waste stations. Well, what is a pet waste station? It's a place for a dog owner to take a bag plus to deposit the waste into. And each one of those waste containers are fully contained, so there's no bees to it, flies, it's self-contained. We have 3
and sponsors. You have sponsors for those,
every
right?
one of them. Yeah, and a lot
like I was saying, it's like a golf course. I'm sponsoring a hole. I'm sponsoring a waste station.
Right, and most of those have been done by the veterinary community because they see the benefit of having a safe, secure environment for their clients. The second thing we have in the dog park is we have benches. One of the things we heard from other dog parks, boy, there's a lack of benches. Well, we have 16 benches in the dog park, and we talked to the metro parks about what's the best benches to get, and they told us to go to a composite bench rather than a wood bench. It lasts longer, it's more comfortable.
Pretty good folks to lean on when asking for advice.
Right, because a lot of people walk their dogs in the metro parks right now.
No question, no question.
Then the third thing we have is fountains. We have fountains that serve both the dogs at a low level, and we have that for handicapped, and then for people at normal height. So those are there for the benefit of the dogs. So water's important.
And with all of the things that have been thought about, the amenities here, everything that goes into it, no taxpayer money here, right?
Well, I shouldn't. There is no taxpayer money. There is Lucas County gave us a contribution, and the reason I think Lucas County gave us the contribution is twofold. One, we're encouraging licensing of dogs, and the county benefits from that. The county, it's a law, but the more licensed, the more they're able to hire dog wardens to secure the city.
But Toledo Unleashed will operate this park itself, right?
Toledo Unleashed is a nonprofit organization. The dues, which I told you, we can talk about that in a second. The dues is $10 for charter members, and the dues starts September 27th till February 13th. For that 4.5-month period, it's $10 for 2 dogs. Plus, you have to pay $5 for a key card because it's a swipe card. That's how you get in the park. Starting in February of 2014, it's $40. And the reason we started February 14th, you know what day that is?
That would be Valentine's Day.
Nobody loves you like your dog. Okay. And so after that, it's $40 a year for 2 dogs.
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations on this venture here as you move forward, and as we tape here Friday afternoon, airing Sunday morning. Grand opening was yesterday. But quickly, the park's open dawn to dusk, correct?
Dawn to dusk, and it's not manned. There is no monitors. People will have to monitor themselves and their dog's behavior. No food in the dog park.
Okay, there you go. Steve Surchuk, Toledo Unleashed. We'll talk real estate, commercial real estate down the road, okay? We'll see how we're doing here in Northwest Ohio. Congratulations
Thank you very much.
to all of Toledo Unleashed and all those members and volunteers, Steve.
Thank you very much.
All right, we come back in just a minute. How Goodwill is using competition to help the cause here in Northwest Ohio. Back in just a minute.